insulation from the ceiling came down. It was a mess in there, still is.
Today's powerful windstorm wreaked havoc across much of the inland Northwest. 2 people are dead, thousands still without power tonight. A look at all the damage and the work being done to get people back online tonight.
It was near hurricane force winds this morning with the windstorm that has now left more than 10,000 people without power.
An historic move in our nation's capital. President Donald Trump impeached again. Lawmakers moved quickly 1 week after the violent riots at the U.S. Capitol. This time, 10 Republicans joined Democrats. We'll tell you how our local lawmakers voted. Good evening and thank you for joining us for KREM 2 News at 11 tonight. I'm Mark Hanrahan.
Hello everyone, I'm Regina On. Well, we do have team coverage tonight on that windstorm that ripped through the region. Winds of up to 71 miles per hour, and we all experienced that today. Well, now hundreds of trees are down all across the inland Northwest. Homes are in shambles from those fallen trees.
The deadly windstorm claimed 2 lives today. Widespread power outages canceled school and left thousands of homes in the dark tonight. Now crews are making repairs into the night. In North Idaho, neighborhoods and city streets still in the cleanup process. It's the same story across the region. It'll just take time to repair all the damage. Let's get straight to our Morgan Trout tonight with our team coverage. Morgan, some people continuing to cope with the damage left by that windstorm into tonight. You spoke with a homeowner from Idaho, right?
Yeah, Mark, I was in Fernan Lake today where trees started falling pretty early, and I got the chance to speak with a man who says he had a close encounter with death.
50-mile-per-hour winds started knocking down trees in Fernan Lake, Idaho, early in the morning. When one man moved to his window to get a closer look at his neighbor's destroyed lawn, he had no idea what was about to happen.
Because that's quite a shock when you have the whole roof cave in on you.
The only thing left of Keith Baher's living room is his fire alarm.
Look up to the sky.
Oh,
it's all,
wow.
The whole thing caved in instantly with no noise.
His neighbor's tree crashed through his living room with him and his friend standing in it. He says 1 minute they were watching the wind blow. The next, they were covered in ceiling insulation.
So I missed it just by a fraction. The good Lord was looking out for me today.
The tree hit right behind him. They wasted no time. They dusted themselves off, trekked through the broken glass, wood, and furniture, and got out of there.
Everything decorated and everything perfect because he's programmed as a perfectionist.
Many of his items are destroyed, broken, or buried. He is trying to move forward and is keeping a positive attitude about his living room.
It's been redecorated now.
He booked a motel, but he doesn't know when he'll be able to come back, if he's able to come back. And Kootenai Electric did say that there are about 10,000 people who are still without power, but they'll be working overnight until everybody's lights turn back on. Reporting live, Morgan Trout, KREM 2 News.
I'd never heard my dad react like that to anything, so I obviously thought the worst, so I sprinted upstairs and I saw the tree.
Definitely some terrifying moments for a South Hill family when a tree snapped and then pierced through the roof, landing right in between a couple, pinning a mom of 3 and just missing her husband. Fortunately, the woman wasn't seriously hurt. Firefighters had to use chainsaws to lift the tree off and take her to the hospital. And high winds did significant damage to Coeur d'Alene Park, which is located in Brown's Addition. Giant pine trees tipped over like dominoes and huge roots pulled out of the ground. And according to the city, it lost about 130 trees in its parks. And then here's a glimpse at what the damage looked like up north in Deer Park. These photos are from Nikki Martin. Her family's truck was absolutely demolished by a large tree, and she's not sure how they're going to replace that truck, but reports she and her husband and 3 daughters are all safe tonight. Well, the wind wasn't any less punishing in Cheney, where a large tree snapped and landed squarely on the roof of this house. The Washington State Patrol also reported losing trees at its campus west of town, and we also saw plenty of limbs and trees down on Eastern Washington University's campus.
Comstock Park on the South Hill lost about 50 trees. Just the impact, incredible. It looked like a war zone. And then we traveled up to Audubon, went to Downriver, through several of the neighborhoods. The city so far has lost about 140 trees in our parks. Of course, that's not even counting neighborhoods.
I spoke with Spokane Mayor Nadine Woodward today about the damages all across Spokane. According to the mayor, city crews are working to get damages cleaned up from arterial streets first, then they'll move on into the neighborhoods after that. Right now, she says crews are still assessing the damages in the city. After that, they'll see what avenues can be pursued to help people financially, whether that be from the state or the city. Avista says it's all hands on deck for crews and staff responding to outages right now. Assessment and restoration efforts started early this morning, and crews will work around the clock until everyone's power is restored. All available Avista crews are working the outages right now. Assessment may take 24 hours or more in some cases due to the widespread damage, and outages may last multiple days, they say. Avista suggests customers take the following steps during an outage. Turn off all the appliances that were on before the power went out. Leave a light or a radio on as an alert when power has been restored. Help Avista crews working in a neighborhood know which homes have power by turning on the front porch light. The city of Spokane will provide free disposal of trees and tree limbs that came down during today's windstorm. Tree debris from the storm can be placed in green yard waste carts for pickup on customers' normal garbage collections starting next week. Debris must be contained in the carts for this special service. Debris outside the carts will not be collected. Branches must be smaller than 3 inches in diameter and fit within the cart. To school closures now for tomorrow. Both Spokane Public Schools and Medical Lake School District will be closed, including remote learning tomorrow. SPS's childcare will also be closed. Coeur d'Alene Public Schools says district administrators will make the call to close the entire district or certain schools early tomorrow morning. They will update families by 6 a.m., they say. Central Valley School District also said they were going to make their final decision regarding school tomorrow in the morning. And for the latest updates on school closures and damages from today's windstorm, watch Up with Krem starting tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. We'll bring you everything you need to know to get your day started. All right, let's talk weather now with meteorologist Thomas Patrick. Thomas, we talked about this last night at this time. The storm was heading our way. The good news at this hour, it's well behind us, right?
Yeah, we knew that the event was going to be during the morning hours, which is exactly when it was. It was 6 to 7 a.m. in Spokane. That's when we got our strongest wind gusts. Fortunately, still about 54,000 people without power, and that's just on the Avista grid as of this hour. Those wind gusts today peaked above the 60-mile-per-hour mark. You can see that corridor pretty much from south central Washington through the Palouse and up to Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. These are just the automatic reports. In fact, we've been getting some wind gusts above the 70-mile-per-hour mark. That gets flagged by the National Weather Service's kind of like automatic area, and they confirmed that those wind gusts were in fact real and not like a sensor default or anything like that. But as of right now, 11-mile-per-hour winds, much better for tonight, and those winds will continue to calm. In fact, they'll probably be outright calm winds heading into the morning hours tomorrow. We'll actually get to enjoy the sunshine for Thursday, unlike today with how violently windy it was. We're actually in between two weather systems. The one that hit us this morning, well over the Central Plains, it's making its way into Minnesota right now. So this was an extremely fast-moving system for the region and for the entire West Coast. But we got some more calm weather on the way, so we'll be tracking that through the weekend and also give you a comparison to how this windstorm stacks up to the historic one from 2015.
All right, Thomas, thank you. Definitely was an experience today. Well, the House has voted to impeach President Trump now twice in just over a year. Coming up, 10 Republicans break with the party to vote yes on a charge of inciting an insurrection, plus how Washington lawmakers voted. But before we go to break, check out these photos sent to us of a downed tree in Liberty Lake. Thankfully, no one was hurt and landed in a clear part of the lawn. If you have a photo you want to share with us, just download the Krem 2 mobile app and submit your photos to the Near Me section on the app.